what about clearing crystals, cleaning them, cleansing them, recharging them? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So whether you're joining us live or later, if you have any other questions that we don't cover, and I've got my notes all ready to share with you, please put them in the comments wherever you're seeing this, and I will answer them. So this is the first in a series of Mystical Mornings with Terrie Marie. Live Q&A. If you remember some months ago, so this is like June 15th, I asked all y'all what your questions would be or what you would like to have answers to in regardings to crystals. And then I asked about angels and energy, and we'll talk about those in another episode. So the first question, do all crystals need to be cleansed? No, yes, and no. So which ones? All of them except selenite, and I did prepare a little bit ahead of time today. So here is kyanite, blue kyanite. So black kyanite. I do have a little piece right here. So black kyanite. So kyanite and selenite, peach selenite, white selenite, black kyanite, blue kyanite. All right. And here is a big piece of selenite. Now you can have some smaller pieces. You can have hearts or bowls. I do have a bowl here to show you. And every night when I take my bracelets and my necklaces off, they go into selenite, and more about that in a little bit. So do they all need to be cleansed, cleared, balanced, realigned, charged? Except for kyanite and selenite. And some folks like to include some other crystals. I prefer to just keep it simple for myself. There are other crystals, minerals, and stones that will help you clear, cleanse, and recharge your crystals. However, for today, we're sticking with kyanite and selenite. So let's get on with it. I know I'm a little bit nervous, okay? They need to be cleared because all crystals absorb our energy, all of them, even the kyanite and the selenite. So this is an angel feather quartz, and it is here on my desk, and I have lots of selenite all around me so that my crystals are consistently and continually being cleansed by the selenite. And I probably have some kyanite around here too. Why do they need to be cleansed? Because they are energy and they absorb energy. They absorb positive and negative, but mostly they will take from us the energies that we are projecting out. Nervousness, anxiousness, grief, loss, stress, indecision, emotional pain or healing, all of that. And they get full. I have seen in the past, I have seen crystals, big ones, that have collected so much energy from their surroundings and the people that they work with or the people who work with them, that there's this little cloud of dust. And it's very different than a phantom quartz, which has another crystal in it. And it's different than the inclusions of iron or even the chlorite. It's like this dust ball, and it can get so thick and so heavy and so big that crystals can pull apart. They can break because they're not cleansed. It's like trying to put 10 pounds in an 8-pound bag, and you keep stuffing it, and then the seams pull or fall apart. So there's that piece of it. How often, here's another question, how often do crystals really need to be cleaned? Well, how much selenite or kyanite do you have around them? How often do you hold them? Do you hold or work with crystals for healing? Do you hold your crystals during meditation, while you're studying? Lay your hand on them while you're working. Do you sleep with them underneath your pillow? Are they on your bedside table? Is there any kyanite or selenite or combinations thereof on your table so that they're always being cleared? Do you hold it, your crystal, while you're reading or watching one of your programs? So if you hold the crystal for 5 minutes, okay, maybe you don't need to clear it for 5 minutes after you've held it for 5 minutes. But what were you feeling during those 5 minutes? Was it a lot of anger and you were trying to just download as much of your anger or your frustration or your disappointment or whatever you were feeling? I would clean that crystal. I would put it right on top of a piece of selenite like this. Oops, I'm going to try to be careful here so that it doesn't fall over on my computer. Okay, so you don't have a big slab of selenite. Do you have a bowl? Put it in the bowl. Do you have this size? Maybe it's not big enough, but you could put a piece of clear quartz right next to it. Clear quartz magnifies the energy of all other crystals, minerals, and stones. So let's imagine that this black kyanite, just pretend it is clear quartz. So we put the clear quartz, okay, and then we put this happens to be my Herkimer diamond cluster. So you can just lay them together. Just put it in my hand here so hopefully we can see. All right, so like that. Okay, so this is a selenite. We're pretending that is clear quartz. And then this here is the Herkimer diamond I just finished holding for 5 minutes and dumping all of my energy into it. Okay, does selenite really work? Yes, selenite really does work. I have a bowl that's twice the size of this with most of my bracelets in it. And at night, when I take my bracelets off, I will put them in this bowl. The ones I have on my wrists, these are the ones that actually go into this bowl at night. I have a much bigger bowl. All right. This piece of blue kyanite with mica is actually sitting on my, or does when we're not here together, sit on my bedside table so that it can clean the crystals that are already there. How does selenite work? Selenite, along with kyanite, pulls energy like all the crystals and the minerals and everything in your home, in your office, everything. It pulls and absorbs energy. Energy is fluid. It moves. It's kind of like free floating. We talk about free floating oxidants or antioxidants, something like that. Just like air flows, energy is everything. It is everywhere, and it is not going anywhere. I meaning, it's here. So kyanite and selenite, in answering the question more specifically for selenite, it does work because it absorbs and it is always clearing the energy. Whether it has anything in it or not, it's absorbing energy from around it. So it's taking energy from the ethers, from the air, and cleansing it right now. So what is the recharging? The recharging part is when the crystals are cleaned, they're cleansed, then they have an opportunity to then release what they've been holding on to and have this resurgence. So it's like going to an energy practitioner of modalities that you're interested in that you are attracted to. And right, it's also like taking a salt bath, right? So you get all the toxins out of your body, you're doing an energy detox and relaxing, don't you feel energized and recharged? Maybe a little bit sleepy because you've let go of all the junk that was in your mind and in your body and all of that. It's the same difference with crystals. When they are free from what they've been collecting and holding and absorbing, then it's like, that's like a recharge. Okay. So here's the next part. How do you clear, cleanse, recharge crystals? How do you clean them? Some crystals are allergic to water and allergic to sunlight. So selenite, and by allergic, I think that's best to say it that way. It's what just came out, is because it is soft. I mean, it is hard. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's soft in the sense that if you put selenite or kyanite of any kind into the water or into water and let it soak, they will at some point dissolve. They'll break apart. I would not even rinse. I don't rinse selenite or kyanite in water. I just don't. Now in the bowls, when I first got them, I would just take a soft cloth, like a paper towel, and just dampen it, and then just kind of rub the inside the bowl out. Yeah. Okay. So what other ways can you clean crystals? You can use incense. This is a piece of incense stick. Okay. And I have my candle. My candle holder is well loved. So I am lighting the end of this. So the ways that you can clean crystals: sound. So a singing bowl or an Om CD. You can use, here we go. Here's my Kundalini citrine. So you have the smoke from the incense. You can do it like so. Now, if you have an incense holder, then you can just pass the crystal, careful, through the incense. If you have a big collection, you can wave this incense all around your collection. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a few crystals, I mean. So you can put this in a strategic spot in the middle of your crystal collection or a room, and then just have it burn. And it will clear the energy out. All right. You can also use Palo Santo. I've used this one before, and I like lighting it by just holding it, so you can see this easily enough. I just hold it over the flame until it gets lit. So the same difference, right? Okay, we've got it going a little bit. It takes a little bit longer to light Palo Santo, so I'm not going to hold it too long here. All right, so we've got that. And the same thing, you can hold your crystal over it. You can pass the Palo Santo over it, over a crystal or a collection of crystals. If you want to do some extra clearing, you can even do your own clearing of your chakras and whatnot. And even though this isn't on today's topic list, you can. And I often do this. And that reminds me I ought to be doing this again this morning. Okay, so facing east, I will do something like this, top to bottom, just clear the energy. Then I'll turn around and imagine my back is there. So I will clear the space. And then I will turn front again and clear the space where my body was. And I will do this 3 times. 3 sets. Yeah, just 3 times, front and back. Okay, so another way to do this is to use a singing bowl. Now let's see if the singing bowl will play for us today. It did when I was practicing before. This is known as a sound bath. You can also play an ohm CD in the background, just have it low. It doesn't have to be loud because the vibration from the singing bowl and an ohm CD, you can play them at the same time or at different times. If you don't have a singing bowl, you can find a singing bowl CD or probably some music online. Is this the only way to clean crystals? The answer is no. You can also, oh yes, I did say some are allergic to the sun. So rose quartz is okay. Amethyst will fade over time. One of my favorite ways to clean crystals is by having them in the sunlight. You can, depending upon if your backyard or your front space is secure enough so that people don't, just help themselves to your crystals and walk off, you can put them outside. And I used to do this when my collection was way smaller and I could carry out just 2 trays of crystals. So you can put them out in the sunlight. Now, if you don't have a secure area, meaning, where people don't walk by or, would help themselves, you can put them on a windowsill. Well, here in the Southwest, in Tucson, it gets hot like other places, and so I have the blinds closed, but you can put them on the windowsill for a little bit, or you can just open the blinds and then the energy from the sun can come in. You can also do it in new moon and full moon. The reason I prefer sunlight, singing bowl, and incense is because I can do those anytime. I don't have to wait once every 28 days. And if I do have a small garden, if I moved everybody out, I would be doing it for a day or more, and then it would take me a day or more to just bring them all back. You can put a few of your special crystals out in those times. I'm not saying don't do full moon or new moon. Do that as extra. And here's another thing. The full moon energy can come into your place in through the windows, right? So you could leave the blinds or the curtains open, and then that energy, the direct moonlight energy, would come in. And so you don't necessarily have to move everything. Am I suggesting not? Nope. Do what feels right to you. Do a combination of these things. And I'm just going to check and see if anybody has posted any questions that they'd like to have answered. Okay, that one is good. I don't think so. All right, where did you all go? There we are. Okay. If you think of questions later, please pop those in the comments. And if you would be so kind as to share this, there are lots of people who would be interested. Now, that is my opinion. We all love crystals, or at least most of us love crystals. And learning how, and even getting some confirmation or some validation about clearing them, how often, why, and how could really help someone. Thank you so much. Namaste. And have